The definition of the word witch is a woman thought to have magic powers, especially evil ones. The stereotype of witches is thought that they are dressed in black with a coat and a pointed hat. They are also thought to fly on a broomstick and have big noses and warts. Nobody knows historically when witches came into the picture. The first time that they were mentioned was in the Bible verse written between 931 BC and 721 BC. One of the main reasons that witch hunts happened was because of the publication of a book called Malleus Maleficarum, written by two Germans in 1486. The book covered how to identify, hunt, and interrogate witches. The book labeled witchcraft as heresy or treason to your church, and gave authority to people trying to identify and get rid of witches living among them.
For over 100 years, the book sold more copies than any other book except for the Bible.
Witch stories in history is Grace Sherwood, whose neighbors said that she killed their pigs and hexed their cotton. The court ruled to use a controversial water test to determine whether she was guilty or innocent. Her arms and legs were bound, and she was thrown into a body of water. It was thought that if she sunk, she was innocent, and if she floated, she was guilty. Sherwood floated and was convinced of being a witch. However, she was not killed but put in prison for 8 years. The best-known witch trials happened in Salem, Massachusetts, from February 1692 to May 1693. It all began when two cousins, 9-year-old Elizabeth Parris and 11-year-old Abigail Williams, began having fits, body conditions, and uncontrollable screaming. People panicked as more young women began to show symptoms. 3 adult women were accused of witchcraft: Sarah Good, Sarah Orborn, and Tituba, a slave from the Paris family. Tituba confessed but claimed that she was been pressured into it by the other 2. Neither of the women confessed. Sarah O'Byrne died in prison, while Sarah Good's husband turned against her in court, saying that she either was a witch or would be one soon. Good, who was pregnant, gave birth in jail. When her child died, she was convicted and had a public hanging. Tituba was imprisoned until May, when the trials were over and she was released. In the end, around 150 people were accused of 18 sentenced to death, 6 of which were men. The trials finally ended when the governor's own wife was accused of witchcraft. Sentences were amended, prisoners released, and the arresting stopped. After a while, the witch hunt diminished, and now witches are just cute Halloween decorations. They no longer believe them to belong with our communities.